Welcome to Right Now, I'm Clark Chamberlain, still coming to you from the beautiful city of Baghdad. Today I'm in my room because I would really like to get this video done and put it up on the web. So instead of doing my normal type of video, I'm going to do something a little bit different today, so we're going to have to hold off on me telling you about how I want to go fishing with Mark Wahlberg one day. What I want to concentrate on for the next few videos is how I write and how that might be able to help you. So today I want to talk about building plots. As you may have remembered, in one of my earlier blogs I talked about two basic types of writers. Those that just allow the story to flow from them, not exactly sure where it's going, and those that plot. They have an idea of where the story begins and where it ends. I fall on the plotter side for the most part, and I want to share with you how it is that I build my plots. Now the first thing that I do is I get an idea for a story. It might just be while I'm out walking one day and see some action that's going on and say, you know, that's kind of a clever idea, or maybe it's just a couple of scenes and I write those down. That is the basic part. From that small seed I grow it into a much larger plot, starting with a short synopsis, so that I have a basic idea of where my story is going and who some of the major players are. Like I said, this is short. Perhaps only a page, perhaps only a few paragraphs, but it gives me an idea of where that I am going. At this point, I don't have much character development done. I may even refer to my character as protagonist or antagonist, or as in one of the stories I'm currently working on, as miracle worker. I haven't come up with a name for him. I haven't come up with all the deep background information. I'll be doing that a little bit later. From that basic short synopsis, where I've got some information of where the story is going and who some of the basic characters are, I create a 3-act plot. Now if you're not familiar with what 3 acts are, that would be a beginning, a middle, where conflict builds, and then the third one, a finale, or where the conflict is resolved. Now a note about beginnings. A lot of times there's a feeling that you need to give all of the background information at the very beginning of the story. For some reason the feeling is that your reader needs to have all of that. Now in my opinion, all that does is bog a reader down. Think in media res, in the middle. The story is already taking place. The action is already taking place. If you met someone for the first time, they wouldn't tell you everything about their past. The same is true with character development. We'll cover that a little bit later in another video. Allow your reader to catch up with the story. They don't need to have everything out right in the beginning. So now I have a fairly detailed 3-act plot. Now what I do, I take that plot and I build scenes. I come from an independent film background. They're all pretty much crap, so there's no reason to even look for any of them. But it's how I think. I think in terms of scenes. Time, place, people, action. And that's how I build the next part of my plotting. For me, my scenes are not chapters. There might be more than one scene in a single chapter, or there might be more than one chapter in a single scene. I think of my chapters as pacing. What I try to do is add enough drama at the end of every chapter so that the reader is pulled into the next chapter, so they can't put the book down. Now if you want to learn a little bit more on drama, check out one of my previous blogs. So now I have my 3 acts, and I've written down all of the scenes that happen in each act. Now I write each of the scenes found in the acts with as much detail as possible. What this allows me to do is see plot holes or places in my story which might drag out a little bit too much, and I can immediately correct those before I even start writing. I want to make sure I have as much detail down, understanding what I want out of each scene before I begin. It just makes my writing process so much smoother. Now of course I've found that no matter how much planning you put into something, sometimes things don't work. Sometimes I remove scenes, sometimes I have to add 2 scenes, sometimes I'm writing along and I'm like, this just doesn't make sense for the characters that are involved. The more I get to learn who my characters are, the more I get to learn where my scenes are at and what's happening in them, adjustments can be made. So just because you have written down a plot doesn't mean that these things are set into stone and you have to do it this way only. Because I mean, what you want is the best possible story. And so if the best possible story says, I got to tweak this a little bit, I got to remove this, I got to add more to this, then you have to do it. Because what you're trying to do is tell the best story from your character's perspectives. I find that having scenes and a detailed plot only helps me to set my writing goals and to achieve those, which ultimately leads to success. Thanks for watching. Next time, I'll be doing more about character development. If you'd like to discuss any of the ideas that I brought up today or get more information, I have some other books that I could recommend to you. Please email me, write clarkchamberlain@gmail.com. That's all the time I have for right now. We'll catch you soon.